Today's video is all about maximizing your potential in your, let's call it, senior years of golf. So seniors in our country here is 50 years plus, and what I want to try and do with this video is really give you some, let's say, cheats to maximize your opportunity to play your best golf when you're starting to struggle a little bit with mobility. So what I'm going to do is cover three elements of the game. I'm going to cover driving, short irons, and kind of long iron stroke hybrids to allow you to play your best golf. I'm going to come up with a cheat technique and then talk you through how that is important with each of these clubs. So let's get to it. So the cheat technique basically is all about creating what I would call depth in your golf swing. So for example, this would be depth in your golf swing. This would be, let's call it, height in your golf swing. Now, senior golfers for me want to hit the ball with a little draw every time. So what I'm trying to produce for you here is a golf swing that's going to enable you to hit a draw shot consistently. And with the driver particularly, we're going to get the ball to run its maximum distance. When it comes to a long iron, because of all the cheats, we might well encourage you to hit hybrids, again, to get the flight we want. Because when we're hitting this kind of draw, the ball flight is going to become a little bit stronger and a bit lower. So it might not stop on the greens as quickly. And also you might not get the kind of carry distance we want to get over the bunkers and so on. So hybrid is going to be very important to this technique. So what we're looking to do really, if we start with a short iron, I'm going to ask you, as I said already, to create what I call lead arm depth in the backswing. So then we don't need a long backswing. We are going to encourage you to rotate though. So I'm quite happy for your lead foot, for the heel to come off the ground, your lead knee get over towards the golf ball, and that's to turn and even allow the head to rotate a little bit to get this movement in your spine over to the right and get you behind the golf ball a tad. Now, some other videos we talk about staying centered, and I'm still all about that. I don't want to see a huge lateral movement, but I do want to see rotational and depth for these golfers that haven't got the range to get the swing completely up to the top. So the best way of feeling this is to take a secondary glove, put this under your left arm, feel we've got this kind of connection to get the lead arm depth. And again, as we're doing that, just let the heel come off the ground, let the knee come in, feel that rotation. So this depth of swing and rotation through your hip. Let the right leg straighten a little bit. Let this foot, as I said, come up in the air. Then on the downswing, plant the foot, let the toe come up in the air, the trail foot. And on the downswing, what we're going to do, I'm quite happy for this depth and the swing to go out to the right a little bit and to feel we've got this draw shape. To make sure we get good contact, I'm going to ask you to move the ball back in the stance a tad. So I have a 7-9 in my hand here. That would normally be in the center of the stance for me in my European ball position guide. I'm going to move this an inch further back. Because the swing's going flatter, the swing has more depth to it, I want to make sure my low point still marries up to be just ahead of the ball. So the flatter we make our swing, or the shallower we make our swing, there's more opportunity to hit the ground before the ball. So we don't want that, obviously. So moving the ball back in the stance is also going to encourage me to swing to the right. It's also going to encourage me to hit that slightly stronger flighted shot, which again will help the ball go further. Let's have a go on iron. So we've got the glove under my arm. Ball position I said there would normally be center. I'm going to move it back in the stance a touch. And from there I'm going to allow this foot to come up, knee to come up, keeping the connection. So it felt quite restrictive for me with a glove under here. And obviously I don't normally lift my foot off the ground. It's a little bit of a different looking golf swing for me. But that's the kind of mantra I want you to have to get this mobility and range of movement to get behind the golf ball correctly. Now, when we go to hybrid, I'm after the same kind of swing. But again, I won't ask you to have the glove under your arm for this hybrid shot. But I want the same kind of swing. Ball position to be slightly back of where it would be normally. So this is going to be in between center and left heel. This is a 3 hybrid here, and I'm looking to really, again, get the golf club to have the depth, the turn, and strike ball and turf. So let's let that foot come off the ground again. And that one was really, really sweet, really enjoyed that one. The 7-9 was a little bit more difficult, the timing was out a little bit for me, but the rescue felt quite nice with that slight heel raise. Now the driver, I'm going to encourage you to stay what I call back on the ball. So, we're going to have the ball teed up left heel the same. We're going to have this heel, this depth, but definitely feel that you can stay back here let the forearms rotate a little bit more aggressively to get this kind of low bombing draw. That's going to run like a scolded cat up that fairway. That's the kind of feeling I want you to have from this. So, ball position again here. Let the heel raise up, feel we stay back, and let the arms rotate through the golf ball. Overdid the draw ever so slightly, but certainly quite a strong flight and quite easy to hit. You know, driver sometimes can be quite hard work. That felt quite easy and effortless. Just trying to keep that swing in and around those barriers that we talked about, letting the foot come off the ground, feeling an extra range of motion without having to resist. Staying back then, letting the arms rotate to get that kind of draw shape down the fairway. So, these are my take on the encompassing every part of the game that's important really for you to be able to play golf. How we can hit short irons further, more consistent, flight it correctly with good contact, with a little draw shot. How we can hit rescues then instead of long irons, because the opportunity to hit the ball high will be more difficult. So a hybrid off the fairway, easier to use at the semi-rough, easier to use off the tee, so definitely what I'd encourage you to do. And then for the driver, to hit these kind of little topspin bombing draws down the middle, heel up behind the golf ball, stay back, arms rotate through the golf ball. That for me would be the essentials to drive it as best you can with the easiest amount of effort, or the littlest amount of effort. So these are my takes on how to play great golf throughout the whole of your bag if you're not able to produce the swing of your 20s, for example. So a way of working around if you feel a bit stiff and the game started to become a bit more manageable and a bit more sort of slicey and cutty. Have a go with these little tips.